Okay, we're back. Now we're on meters. Oh boy, we got some meters here. I'm going to go over a quick brief summary of all of them, then we're going to get into a deep discussion of them. I'm going to let Eric take the bottom half and I'm going to take the upper half. You ready?
Yep.
Alright, brief description of them. This is an electrosensor, electromagnetic sensor. It detects basically EMF. Pretty good. It's got the snorkel on it. I left it on. You can see it when you move it or bump it, it'll go off. This is a K2 meter. Now, this is one of the first ones that came out. It used to be a push button. A little button there you had to push, not the silver piece, but a little plastic. And you had to hold it. And you had to hold it the whole time to use it. See? Watch it light up. Hold it the whole time to use it. I didn't like it. They didn't have the one that had the switch in it yet. So I put a switch on the side. And then this silver piece right here, in case you're wondering, is it's like I'm mounted up under a carry unit that carries a camera and another meter, and then this. It clips right up onto there. Here's another EMF sensor. This has got two settings on it. It's got low and it's got high. And it beeps. This one doesn't beep, it just lights up. And then we got the Ghost Meter Pro. Not really a big fan of it, but other people are. We'll talk about that later. Then we've got the tri-field meter. It's got electric, it's got RF and magnetic. I really don't use this hardly at all. I'm not a big fan of the RF, the tri-field. Not this one anyway. This is a Ramsey kit one that you build. There's other tri-fields out there that are better. It's up to you on that. I just don't like the tri-fields at all anyway. Then we got the Mel meter. We'll get into the discussion on this. This is one of my favorites. And then we got the EDI. So we'll get into the discussion on the EDI too. And then we got the shadow sensors that go with the Mel meter, and you got the temperature probe that goes with the Mel meter. So let's start off with this one, Eric. You used that a little bit. What do you think of it?
Well, I like how this, swivels. I like the fact that, it doesn't go off that easy unless something really... You got it turned off?
Yeah.
Oh, so when it's turned on,
if you drop it, vibration.
And then it'll light up. That's.
But what do you think of this? It detected spirits.
Yeah, I liked it. It was a nice product.
Yeah. So, what about the K2? What do you think of the K2s?
Actually, the K2 is one of my favorites. Just first piece of equipment I ever used, and I actually fell in love with it. It's real nice, user friendly. The stronger it gets, the more the lights light up. It's real nice, easy to use.
Yeah, the K2 is generally what most beginners start out with. They start out with this and these other generic sensors. I shouldn't call them generic, they're good for what they're made for. Only problem I have with the K2 is you got to take screws out to change the battery. That's my only issue with that. What did you think of this sensor here?
It's got two settings like he mentioned earlier, the low and the high, which is pretty good. And they're a real reliable product.
Yeah, I think it's very reliable. What did you think of the spirits communicating with it? It went off a few times, but it really never spiked, but this has got a higher range.
Right.
This one only goes up 1.5, 2.5, 10, and 20 plus milligauss. This one goes all the way up above 30. So this one they'd have to really hit it hard. So then we got the Ghost Meter Pro, Eric. Just the first time you used it was last night. We went on an investigation. What did you think of that?
I like it again. It's real easy to use. It lights up. It's got a gauge.
It's got a little meter in there.
And then it also covers like a recent ghost, older ghost, and it also has a EMF detector into it. A dialogue mode.
Yeah, it's got nice volume control on it.
Yeah.
It makes a clicking sound. I don't know if you can hear this. We'll turn it up here. You hear that little clicking. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but and then it's got a real teeny button on the side next to the up above the volume button. So that's that. Alright, and next I'm going to talk about the tri-field again. Again, don't like it. I'm not going to say too much about it. You have to take the screws out of the back to get to the battery, so I cut a hole in it. Little flap on the back. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of tri-field. EDI. Now, this is a good one. You got your main power on. You got a speaker, which I really didn't hear anything from this. Some people, I'm not great at hearing anymore. Some people can hear a faint little beep. Then you got your geophone. It's got an EMF sensor. The lights will light up. This geophone is vibration. See where I'm tapping? It's going on and off. See? I mean, it's a good little meter for what it is. They used to have ones without the cards in them. They were more affordable. These new ones have a card in them. They got recordability. Not really a big fan of it for the price, but it is what it is. Then the millimeter. Let me tell you about this millimeter. It has everything in the world on it. I'm not going to turn it on. I took the battery out. It's hard to get the battery, but it's got the antenna for like a REM pod. But all these lights, color coded, different colors light up. The more intense something gets to it. It's got a laser. It puts a grid out. It's got temperature probe, which you can take off and then use the one that's on it. It's got temperature variance. It'll tell you if it's getting hotter or colder. When the temperature's the same, it won't light. Gets colder, it goes blue. Hotter, it gets red. Scoot around in the seat there. It's got your range. You can set the REM range to 0. You can got the STD sensitivity button. Everything. It's got a zeroing button on the side. Then over here, you can turn on the laser from the back. You can turn on the STD from the back, the ATDD from the back, the REM from the back. I mean, this is an all-around great meter. This is the MEL 8704R-EMT 7.1 professional mode. This you can put rechargeable batteries in it. It's got a charger port. Everything about this I love. And the shadow detection. So if something goes in between the shadow, it sets off the sensor. So millimeter's my favorite, but I didn't get to use it last night. It's got your power, it's got your record, your range. It's got a backlight so you can see your numbers on there. You don't have to have the LEDs for your intensity of your EMF field. So I really do like it. But that's about it for the meters. We're going to move on to the next segment. Alright, we're back with our next segment. We got a bunch of stuff on the table again, Eric.
Yes, we do.
Phew. Alright. I'll start with the REM pod. REM pod is basically picks up static. Turn it on. You can either go with the light on or the light off. When something goes over top of it, I'll show you an example. Take this bag here, I'll rub it together. Watch. See that? I don't know if you can tell that or not. Can you see that light? Yeah, you can see that light from there. REM pod basically, if a spirit walks over it or close to it, the light will dim if you have it set for that. If you have it set the other way, the light will now the light will come on when something goes over it. So that's basically the REM pod. Then we got the motion sensor. The motion sensors is just what it says. Something walks through here, you know, shadow, a person, an animal, whatever. It's just an alert for you. You have this in like doorways and stuff where you come in and out. This closer to where you're investigating or close to a command center. And this here will alert them, let them know, and they can check the video feed. And they can see if somebody's coming in or out, or if it's maybe a spirit or an animal. So that takes care of the motion. Then we got the vibration sensors. These are our favorites. I really do like these. These I have modified. I'm not going to tell you how. I don't want anybody to go think, you know, taking anything and modifying. But they got high-low settings. When something walks in a room or something knocks or gets dropped on the ground, these things will alert. I'll turn one on so you can hear it. Oh, there we go. You can hear that beep. So that's the vibration. Then we got our thermometers. Eric loves playing with these, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Laser point tells you what temperature is. Really nice if you're checking walls or floors or a person. If they say my arm got cold, you can hit their arm and you know you can find out, hit the other arm, find out if one arm's colder than the other. You know, good thing to have. But we pulled this one back out. This is the ambient. When you feel cold around you, you can just reach over there and hit around you. Hit a different spot for a control, somewhere that somebody says, no, it feels normal here. Hit that area, go to the cold spot, hit that. And you can look at the two different temperatures. You look at the one, look at the other. You can tell what the variation is on there. These are really handy to have. Ambient, I think ambient is better than the thermometers. So that takes care of that part of this segment. We're going to move on to the second half of this segment because this is a two-part segment. So the second half is the other. Whew, we got the radio. SB7 is the one we have here. I'm not going to get into all these. There's many different models of this now. What it does is it has a constant scan. It doesn't stop on a station. You got your antenna, you don't even need it. You got a little stand on here to set it up like that. You can put speakers on it, plug externals so you can hear them better, hear what's going on, but it just scans through a radio, and they say the spirit can cut into that radio and use the radio to communicate with you. Well, I'll be honest, everything to me just seems random. If you just happen to catch, if you ask for a name and the radio scan just happens to catch a name, you know, it can happen. I don't trust it, don't like it. That's what you got voice recorders for. You ask the questions, you go back and play it back, and if you got real time, you can hear it right there. Why take something that may possibly give you something, but it may be fake? So we really don't use it. Probably go up for sale. These are homemade. This is a dual polarity EMF pump. You go to a place that may not have the energy, you might get a little bit of spirits in there, but you need a little bit more energy to give them more power to communicate with you. I don't recommend this for the newbies, somebody just getting into it, but you turn this on and it pumps out EMF. And don't sit around by it. Don't put it near you. It can give you headaches. You know, EMF is not good for a person. This one is the quad EMF. The dual had a single light that flashed. You can increase the intensity you want. This one is the dual, or the quad. it really throws out a lot of power. I mean, this thing, it'll set your sensors off from far away. So you really don't want to be in the same room with this. This is the one you put a camera in the room, a voice recorder in the room, put this in the corner near the where your camera's facing, and you turn it on and get out. And you don't go back until you're ready to shut it off. So, or you go into a room, put it in there and turn it on and let it run. Then you go in and turn it off or turn it all the way down, then you start your investigation. You don't want to be in there when this is running on full power. And then we've got this little EMF pump. This is another homemade one by me. This thing puts out pretty good. It's a kind of a dual type. It runs two different kind of EMFs coming out of it. It's really kind of unique. It has brought us a lot of contact with spirits. It's really charged rooms up for us. And then this one I'm not even going to explain. I'm not going to say what is going on with this. It's private. It's in testing. We've had a lot of activity with this. Somewhere in the future you might find these in stores, or I might just keep the patent and do it myself and sell them myself, or I might find it might be too intense for a lot of people and I might put restrictions, or I might not even sell them, because we've had some pretty heavy activity when using this one. And then of course the trusty old flashlights, a mini mag. Turn the thing on, turn the thing off. Try to turn it on real slow to get dim. You cannot get dim. It's on or off. On or off. You put this down on the ground, you ask a spirit to turn it on and turn it off. They can turn these on and off, and they can make them go dim. Instead of just bright on and bright off, they can make them go dim. You can't do that. We've tried. So these are mainly for ghosts to play with, spirits to play with. Then you got, of course, your batteries. You have to have batteries. And then lighting. You got to light the room, and then you have flashlights. So, you know, that's about the end of this segment. Flashlights, let me go over this. There's flashlights like hunting flashlights that have blood tracking. They have IR and UV lights, and they're excellent for you people that have full spectrum cameras. Get bright flashlights. You're going to use flashlights to walk around with, to go out locations. You're going to have lights out in these locations. Get bright flashlights. Flashlights are a safety issue. These lanterns are a safety issue. This is not good for, you know, trying to walk through the woods or through dark rooms, but it's good to put in the room to light up while you're messing with your equipment, your cameras and stuff. So batteries, batteries, batteries. I kicked myself on batteries. 9 volts, double A's, triple A's, C's, D's, even the little watch type batteries, the what do they call them, wafer, what they call them?
Not exactly sure.
We'll figure it out. We'll put it in the description if we think about it. But you know, the watch batteries, the flat ones, you need them on certain things like the ambient and stuff. So that is it for this part of the segment. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, this is not reviewing the actual equipment as much as it's reviewing what you might want if you're getting into paranormal. Alright,